Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So this is going to be the checklist. Now, originally, I was just going to write up a big checklist. Now, in hindsight, I see that I'd rather have the checklist something like this that you guys can look at, but also that I can go ahead and talk about everything so I can give you guys those little extra details that might be confusing when you're just looking at it. So we have about 11 steps. About 6 or 7 of these are steps you must take, and the rest are questions. But stick around for this whole video because it's stuff like this where if you don't go through and you don't learn this stuff, this is where your accounts could really get banned. If you do and you follow these steps, the likelihood of your accounts being banned is much, much slimmer. Okay, so let's go through these steps and then let's go ahead and let's review some. I'm going to give you guys an example of a profile that could be used as a fan page and all that stuff. So first, your first step is to create the account with a burner phone at a random location. So the first step to creating a fan page is you have to actually create the fan page. Now, what you do not want to do is you do not want to make this on your normal phone, and you do not want to make this from your home IP address, right? Because remember, we have to take these accounts and we have to put them under proxies. So if you're making the account from your home IP address and from your actual phone that you use on a daily basis, that account can always be traced back to you. So how do we hide the IP from the birth of making an account, right? We have to make an account somewhere. So this is how you do it. You need to go to your Walmart or whatever, little, store that you have that's near you. And you need to get a cheap phone. Literally just get a phone that you can just use to sign into the Wi-Fi. Doesn't have to be good phone, doesn't have to be a cool phone. You get these little stupid LTE phones. They're like $30 and they're not fast loading, but they do what you need to do. You hook them up to Wi-Fi. It's free to use. You go ahead and you can make the account. So the first step is go to your Walmart, go to whatever place you can buy a phone at and get a little burner phone. Right now, how many accounts can you set up under one burner phone? I would do no more than 3 to 4 accounts per day with about a 15 to 20 account maximum, right? Until you go ahead and you need to buy a new phone. Now, you have the phone. Each phone is connected to its own IP address. A phone is connected to its own IP address from where it hooks up to. So go to a random location. I normally go to a Starbucks because Starbucks has really good Wi-Fi, or I'll go to a Dunkin' Donuts. You can go to a McDonald's. You can go to basically any fast food joint. You can go ahead. You can get Wi-Fi. You can go to a mall. Any place that you have Wi-Fi, basically do not go to your home. Do not go to where you are consistently running your own profiles, which is going to be on your phone and at your house, wherever you live. So get the burner phone and then create the accounts at a random Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever location. Now, very important, only log into these accounts and make all the content stuff from that location. You can't just make the account from that location and then sign into it from your house. You must always sign in at a random location. Doesn't always have to be that same Starbucks, but it can never be from your main house. Never, ever sign into these accounts from your main house. So that is step number 1. Now, step number 2. You make the accounts, you must let them sit. This is aging accounts, right? You must let the account age. You must let it grow old. And minimum, you know what? I'm not even going to take off this 1 week. Let them age for at least 2 weeks. I would say do 2 to 3 weeks, right? 2 to 3 weeks, let these accounts age. What that means is you bought your burner phone, you set them up at a random location, you are letting them sit. You're not doing anything with them. You're just letting them sit. You're letting them age so it doesn't throw off red flags for Instagram. Because if you create a page and you load up 30 posts on it and you start following like crazy, your account will be shut down within 24 hours, almost guaranteed. So these are the steps you need to take. You need to age the account. So let it age for 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm bumping up all these weeks here because I just want you guys to be super safe. The longer you wait, the better. Okay, really don't be in a rush for this stuff. So age the accounts 2 to 3 weeks. Step 3, weeks 4 to 5, you can start to load up content. Now, load up the content at the same location or at a different location. Again, any location that is not at your house, and spread out posts. When I say load up content, I don't mean load it all up in one day, okay? I mean, go there every day and make 3 to 4 posts. Maybe stop somewhere, make another 2 posts. That's what I mean. Spread this stuff out. Ideally, you're going to want at least 16 posts. I would say between 16 to 25 posts is what you need to have a fan page basically in its prime, right? So weeks 4 to 5, you can start loading up the content at the same location, spread out posts, right? After 1.5 months, I just want to bump this up too. After 1.5 months, you can start the bot, okay? So let's just recap here. What have we done? We've created the accounts of the burner phone in a random location. The accounts are aged. Now the accounts are loaded up with our content at the same location, spread out posts. Now after a month and a half, you can start the bot. Okay, this is when you can go ahead and you can start follow adder, you can start any of that, and start it with low actions, like 200 actions per day. That means you're following about 200 people. Okay, now make sure you're setting it up under the proxy IP. Okay, so set it up under the proxy IP. Again, when you do this in follow adder, there's literally going to be a box that says, you know, would you like to use a proxy or add a proxy? You click that button, you paste in the proxy. You can watch their tutorial video on it, and their support also shows you exactly how to do it. So make sure that account is set up under the proxy, because if you don't set it up under the proxy, you have now just showed Instagram exactly where the account is coming from, which means that they can ban your whole IP address. They can ban any accounts under there. So start with low actions, set up under the proxy. The reason why we're starting with low actions is because if you just start swinging immediately with aggressive automation, you'll get banned. So that's why you're starting off with the low actions. It's not going to send off any red flags. Step 5, at month 2 to 2.5, so at 2 months to 2.5 months, you may increase the actions, right? You can probably increase the actions to about 500 actions per day. That could be 500 following per day. That could be 500 likes per day, whatever it may be. You can start adding likes at this point. You can start adding in comments at this point. Honestly, when I run fan pages, I only really run follow, and I run likes. I don't really do the comment things because to me, the comments don't really get much done. It pisses people off more than anything. So I don't run the comments because I really don't like it. So at month 2 to 2.5, you can start to increase. Again, I'm saying 500 actions per day. These numbers are very conservative, but I'm saying them with your safety in mind. If you guys are more experienced in automation, if you guys know what you can handle, you've been in it for, you know, a longer period of time, go ahead and do what you do best. Go ahead and do whatever it is that you want. But I'm just trying to show you guys the safe route, okay? Step 6, at month 3, you can start to max out. But don't just put the pedal to the metal. Slowly increase, okay? You don't merge onto a highway and suddenly you're going like 85. You know, you have to go up slow, right? So start to climb up to 1,000 actions per day. So at month 2 to 2.5, you're gonna be at 500. You know, so start, you know, each week, maybe add on 100 more actions until now you're at 1,000 actions per day. You can go higher. Look, you can go to 2,000 actions per day. I have some fan pages running at 2,000 actions per day. These accounts were aged for a very long time though, okay? They're aged for a very long time. They're under the right proxies. So you can go higher. Just test with one account at a time. Never do, like, if I could stress one thing, this is all testing, right? This is all testing. So you never test with all your accounts. You test with one, see how it goes. If it gets banned, then you know, hey, I'm not going to do that on the rest of my profiles, right? Never put all your accounts in jeopardy at one time. If you want to try something new, test with one, let that run for like a month, and then consider adding in a few more, and then you know that route is safe, okay? So you can go higher. It's just your risk. Again, I know people who go up to like 2,000 actions per day. After 2,000, I really wouldn't go any higher than that. Like after that, you're basically really asking for it. You're really going to set off some red flags. Okay, so now that is the steps you must take. Okay, now these are more questions, right? So how should my profile look? Let's get into this. So how should my profile look? Well, here's a profile that I have set up that I could easily use for a fan page. I just kind of have this set up now. I might turn into a fan page, I might not, but I wanted to set this up for you guys and show you how it might look like. So let's take a look at this. First off, my name here is Mind Shifting. Really, I'm just selling this username, so that's why I have it on there. But if I go ahead here to edit my bio, here it is, edit profile. So I would set up the username. What should you name your profiles? This is also one of the questions. So what should you name your profile? It should be something like, I would put like Anthony Groper fan, right? Or Anthony Groper vids, or Anthony Groper talks, or Anthony Groper something, anything. Basically, you want it to be with your name, and then it could be fan, talks, videos, pics, you know, basically anything like that. Whoops, did I actually just save that? I think I just saved that. Oh no. Someone's gonna steal my username. Let's see. Submit. Did it save? Hold on, before I do anything stupid. Okay, cool. It didn't save. I got scared for a second, guys. So basically, that's what you want to name your profiles. But if I go back to the original question. So how should your profile look? This is basically how you want your profile to look. Like, I put it up with a picture of me, kind of, you know, a little bit of a nice background, but it also like adds a little bit of mystery to it. In my profile, like the bio and everything, this is basically how I have it set up. You know, it basically says a little bit about me, from 9 to 5 rat race to CEO. Follow me to see how I made 100 grand on Instagram and travel for free. Super clickbait stuff. Super clickbait stuff. Now, my last line here is I give free shouts to new followers every day. Again, this is not probably something like I might turn this into a fan page, but right now I'm just testing with it and selling the username. What you would want instead, I would edit your profile, and up top I would put something that says along the lines of this, you know, huge fan of Anthony Groper, right? But obviously here I would at myself, right, of at Anthony Groper, or whatever your account is. So people are going to see that and they're going to say huge fan of, you know, who is this guy? Who is he? Like, most people don't have fans. They're going to think you're pretty popular. So that's what you kind of want to have. And then the rest of your bio can be structured something like this, but don't copy your main profile word for word, because then it's going to look like you're running it. You don't want people to think that you're the one who's running your own fan pages, because then you kind of look like a douche. So make sure you have it set up where it doesn't really look like that. So set this up in the third person view, put huge fan of, and basically make it as clickbait as possible to be getting people back to your main page. Now, here are pinned stories. This is the best. If you pin stories on your side profiles, on your fan pages like this, you're going to get way more followers back. So these don't have, like, these are just a few pictures I have here. I just planted them in. But basically what it is, right? It's going to be like a little mini vlog. So this is called The Hustle, right? Now this could be called My Life, Day in the Life, Vlog. This is basically the My Life pin story. So what happens is people would see a day in the life, a mini vlog of me, and they would be going through that. And basically what would happen is they would get a very personal connection with me. That is the point of that, for them to build a personal connection with me. Then right here, I have free travel, because if my life doesn't interest them, you know, my free travel will. So I can show off, you know, stuff like, I don't know, free hotels that I've gotten, stuff that I'm able to leverage with my Instagram network. So now I'm taking people from what I do in a day in my life into, you know, kind of more advanced things, building up this connection, kind of putting myself in a place of authority. Because if you want to sell products, if you want to have influence, you have to position yourself as authority. Not many people can get free hotel stays and stuff. So when I put that up here, that's something that a lot of people like, and they're going to kind of look up to me. It positions myself. Then here I would put something like, I have it as Instagram money. So here I could start putting on, you know, stuff and money that I made through Instagram, stuff like that, testimonials, anything like that. And I'm basically taking somebody from not knowing me to knowing what I do in life, like why people should follow me, and then I'm getting somebody ready to buy from me. So that's what these pin stories do. It tells a story that you cannot tell on your bio and that you cannot tell through normal pictures. So have all of that set up, okay? And that is going to how your profiles are going to be basically actually converting followers for you, right? And test this. Test, you know, certain profiles set up one way, test certain profiles set up another way. It's all stuff you should test. If your fan pages are running and they're running on max and you're getting no followers, then your fan pages probably need to be set up different, okay? Every niche is different. Every person is different. You're going to have to test the people that you're following, test the people that you're liking pictures on, test the way your fan page looks, test if your fan pages should be public or private. This works differently for every single niche. You just have to put the time into actually testing it, but this is how it should all be basically set up. So what goes in my bio? We kind of just covered that. So basically exactly what I said for the bio still applies. Put huge fan of and at yourself and a little bit about the person or something clickbaity, something that's going to get clicks. What goes in my captions? So in your captions, what you'd want to put, I forget if I can edit a caption from, I don't think I can edit a caption from desktop, or if I can, I forget how. I never use desktop for Instagram. I'm always on the mobile, but this makes it so much easier for this video here. So basically what you want to put in your captions is, first of all, you're tagging yourself on the picture, right? You're tagging yourself on the picture so that when people click the picture, your name is there. In the captions, give some value, right? Like I would take whatever you're posting on your main profile and kind of summarize that in this caption and then be like, for full post, go check out at whatever. So if you're giving tons of value, people are reading this value, and then by the end, they're so hooked, like they're reading, and then like go read full post at, and you at your main account, and they can go see that full post and read it. That's an easy way to get people back to your profile. So everything needs to be set up where it's like if they want the full thing, they have to go back to your main profile. So that is how you should go ahead and set up your captions. And if we go here, so what goes in my bio? We got that. What goes in my captions? Number 10, what content do I post? So this is probably a question that many of you guys have. What type of content should you post? This is what I'm posting, right? I'm not reposting like crazy viral content. Like a fan page should not be reposting only viral content. Now, for me and my niche, there's a reason why I'm posting a lot of content, right? Because I'm trying to get people that think like me, right? All these pictures I post, this is the way I think, and this is the type of person, like I want somebody who thinks with this mindset, right? Or somebody who wants to learn with this mindset, okay? I want somebody who thinks like for example, this. Or I want somebody to see this and be like, wow, holy crap, like that's really smart. I never thought about it that way. What happens when I post these viral pictures is that it's not just posting viral pictures, but I am basically screening people, because for something like this, for your personal brand, you don't want tons of unfiltered followers. You're much better off gaining very little followers per day that are targeted. There's no point in having a massive personal brand that has hundreds of thousands of followers that don't give a shit about you, okay? So when I'm posting viral content like this, what happens is people view these pictures and they're like, hey, like this really makes sense. Or like, hey, this picture is one that everybody relates to if they're working a 9 to 5. So people like see this and they're like, man, this is like totally me. And they're gonna start going through more content. Then they're going to go through some of my personal content here, some of my nice pictures of me, stuff like that. And people are going to feel very, very personal to me. They're going to feel like they have a connection to me. They're going to feel like I think like them. Like there's somebody out there that thinks like them, that acts like them, that talks like them. They're going to go through my pinned stories, and basically they're going to land on my profile not knowing who I am and come out the other end feeling like they know me, ready to buy from me. So that is the goal that I have here. But basically, you can incorporate a little bit of viral content, or you could do all your own content. So what I have here is a mix of viral content plus my own, but you definitely need your own, okay? You can mix viral content like I did, but make sure you definitely always have your own content. I even put this little video up here, just for whatever's. Again, it's all about testing what works. So this is what would work for me and for my niche. Find out what works for you and for your niche. If you're a photographer and you have tons of really good pictures, then go ahead and just use your own content, because it's going to work better for you, okay? If you don't have that much content like me, then go ahead and set up something like this. Or if you're in the same niche as I am, then this is a really good way to do it. This is how I'm doing it. So that's the way how your content should be set up. Again, it just kind of goes over everything and just kind of, goes through your life, but also goes through your mindset, the way you think, everything like that. So that is the type of content you should be posting. Now, what should I name my profiles? We already covered that as well. Again, like this is just a username I have, but if this was a fan page that I was definitely going to convert, it'd be like Anthony Groper Fan, Anthony Groper Talks, Anthony Groper Vids, Anthony Groper Pics, fan of Anthony Groper, something like that, because it's that social proof plus. Whenever somebody types in Anthony or Groper or spells my name wrong, I have so many fan pages that link back to me, it'll always come back to my account, right? So it's that social proof of like, man, this guy has a lot of accounts made after him. There's a lot of fan pages of this guy. He must be worth following. It gives you more of that social proof. So that's what you should name your profiles. How many profiles should I use? Depends how extreme you want to get it. Again, if this is your first time setting up fan pages, I would stick with like 1 to 3, maybe 5 fan pages. And again, when you're doing 1 to 3 fan pages, you don't need proxies, but you should still probably use them. The cool thing about using 1 to 3 fan pages, like, look, if you're looking at all this and you're super overwhelmed with like follow adder and everything like that, do 1 to 3 and instead use something like Instagram, because Instagram, you don't have to do any targeting. You just submit, the accounts you want to follow and stuff like that. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's all taken care of for you, okay? So if you're like, I cannot learn follow adder, I don't know how to do any of that, then the program just might be a little too advanced for you. You just might have to spend more time learning it. But if you don't want to spend time learning it, then use something like Instagram, social media expansion. Leadfriend is a really good one. Use Leadfriend, and they basically do all the hard work for you. They do all the targeting for you. Okay, so use something like that if follow adder is too much for you to use. But if you want to get to the point where you're doing 5 profiles or more, then you kind of need to use follow adder. Okay, so again, like if you're using 1 to 3, you can use follow adder, but I would probably put them under proxies. But if it's 1 to 3 and you don't want to get into all that, I would use a different company that takes away the headache for you. Now, once you get past 5 profiles, again, you need the proxies, you need everything like that, but the thing is, people really go overkill with fan pages sometimes. Like, you'll have people setting up 200, 300 fan pages. Can you grow your Instagram like that? Yes, you can. Would I? Probably not. It's just so excessive to me. My idea of fan pages is you have fan pages set up. Maybe you have like for me, I would never have more than 25 fan pages set up. Once you get like that amount of fan pages, to me, it just looks really weird. But again, you could do it if you want to, okay? But I would set up, like, for me, max 25. My idea of fan pages is I want to have enough set up where I can, like, gain about 100 to 200 followers per day passively. Like, I know, hey, I got 10 fan pages set up and every day I gain about 100 followers. And that's without spending money on shoutouts. That's not including my viral fan pages. That's not including S4S, collaborations, anything like that. I know that I gain 100 followers per day passively based off work that I did on my fan pages. So that's what I kind of view it as. When you get a lot higher, if you want to make 50 or more profiles, start small. Okay, you guys can work up to that. It's definitely possible. You can do that. You could sell this as an agency service, right? You can make fan pages for people and sell that as a service. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Again, it's just gonna come down to a lot of practice. Getting really good with follow adder, making sure everything's set up under proxies, and you'll be all set. So really, the amount of profiles you can have is unlimited. It's just work your way up is the biggest thing I'm trying to stress here. Don't just try to come out with 50 profiles. If this is your first time, I would start with like 3, okay? And work your way up. And again, if you don't understand the proxies and you don't understand any of that, use something like Instagress, use something like Leadfriend, because they take all the hassle out of everything for you. So that is the checklist, guys, and that is probably the FAQ that you guys will have of, you know, what content do I post, what should I name my profiles, what goes in my captions, how should my profile look. That is how your profiles will look. That is how, you know, basically everything is going to work. Now, again, one thing I can't stress enough is you're going to have to test. Obviously, when you make your first fan page, it's probably not going to be optimized, right? You're probably going to be getting very little followers. You can increase the amount of followers you get by A, either making more fan pages, or B, optimizing your fan pages. I would start with optimizing your fan pages, testing out different pieces of content, testing out different bios, testing out different captions, stuff like that, and making it so that you go from a profile that is following 1,000 people per day and getting you 10 followers per day. How can we optimize this profile to get 50 followers per day? And that literally comes down to content, captions, bio, pictures, everything like that. So start with 3, optimize it, optimize it, optimize it till you can no longer optimize it anymore. Test, test, test. And then when you're like, hey, you know what? This is gaining me like 30, 40, 50 followers per day. You know exactly what you need to do. And now you're like, hey, if each fan page is getting me 20 followers per day, if I want to gain 100 followers per day, I need 5 more fan pages set up. And then you basically know your numbers. So the biggest thing also is know your numbers. Follow all these steps. Again, fan pages are more of a long-term thing. It's not something like fan pages aren't going to take you 0 to 100K overnight. It's a long-term thing. It's more of something that helps you gain passively. Okay. So with that said, guys, this is your checklist. I'll probably also copy and paste this checklist down below just so you just have all the text for reference. And yeah, guys, so that is the checklist and that is the FAQ. Make sure you, really watch this video again if you want to go ahead and do it. Make sure you have the checklist. Make sure you follow the checklist to a T, because if you follow the checklist, the likelihood of you getting banned, it's still there, but it's a lot less. Again, if you just come out, make an account under your home IP address, start doing massive actions with follow and follow, there's a very high chance of you getting banned, and I'm sure none of you guys want that. So I'll see you guys all on the next